Good morning, everybody in virtual world, and good morning to the congregation here at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. I'm really glad that we're all able to meet together. We had a massive technical problem this morning before coming on. Really was quite technical. I didn't switch it on properly. So that's me. So I've had to get my son to come back from rugby and with my grandson, and they just switched it on. So it's what happens when you get 62 and a half. So our medium this morning is Matt Grogan. Welcome, Matt. And do give our love to Kirsty, and I hope she gets well soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can I just remind her to take more water with it, and she'll be fine.
Thank you.
So slight change this morning. Matt's going to be doing the reading this morning. I've still got my macular problem at the moment, and I really can't read too well. So I apologise for that, but I know Matt will do a wonderful reading, and I do know he's got a wonderful address, which I will ask everyone, virtual and physical, here in the church to listen to. I'd like to remind everybody in both virtual world and the church that we're live on both Facebook and YouTube. So if you're trying to run away from your mistress or your master, you're going to be seen. Oh, it didn't go down that well, did it? So friends, let's start a lovely service. I'll now ask Matt to open our meeting with prayer.
Thank you, and thank you, Ray and Jackie, for allowing me to work this morning. So I've asked you to bow your heads, friends, please. Dear Father God, Divine Spirit, thank you for allowing us to come to this sanctuary of love and light, to come to bridge the world between the two worlds and allow them to be one. Allowing that connection of the purest light, of the purest of energy, and allow our loved ones to come and share and uplift, give us wisdom, give us understanding, and give us evidence that they're always around us. Can I also ask that healing goes out to the people within the congregation, those watching, to the family, to the friends, and to the pets, and that I am able to serve in whichever way that is to be served today, to allow the message to be given in whichever way they're meant to be received and whichever way they're meant to be delivered. I ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We continue that prayerful thought where we pray now for healing of mind, body and spirit, for healing for our loved ones and our family friends, and healing for those names inscribed not only in our healing book here at Wimbledon, but healing books everywhere. And the first thing I want to ask for everyone to pray for, another member of our church has had her baby today, Lulu, and it's a glorious little baby, £8 something, £8 4 ounces, I believe, £8 2. So I was never good at reading scales in the shop. And so that's good. And pleased to be able to say they think the baby Jack is okay. He's had a load of tests last week since seeing you, and doctors and consultants at hospitals, 2 hospitals actually, say it's fine, it's just colic, and they think it'll go within a few days. But he does take a specific medicine at the moment, which is possibly causing the colic. But Jackie and I stayed over for 2 days, and he was brilliant for those 2 days. But since we've come home, he's been a little chap. So, but he's not been that bad, so it's good. And so I'd like to pray this morning for, as I say, Lulu and baby, Phil, Rachel, Jack and Sean. There's a Mary that I know, Misty, a cat that's poorly, Bernie, Wayne, Chris, Jackie, Rebecca, Jill, Amber, Sandra Smith, and of course our very own Kirsty. We ask that healing be sent out to them, that they be healed of mind, body and spirit, that the healing angels and ministers attend to them and give them comfort and strength. We'll just have a short moment of silence. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this healing time and this healing moment. We ask you to continue your healing as we go out from this church home, that they continue healing for those names we have asked for and prayed for, and continue to send your ministering angels to them and strengthen them mind, body and spirit. Father God, into thy hands we commend the spirits of thy children to thy safekeeping, for we know at all times thy will shall always be done. Amen. Now let's say together the Serenity Prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So mote it be. So we can say hello to a few names on the screen now. I know Phil's already linked in, and so has George Wood. Evening from Australia. Hello, Naomi. We have family ourselves out in Brisbane, so that's nice. Welcome. George, good morning. As I said earlier, you're with us. Tracy Honey, good morning, Tracy. I hope you're well. Kim, good morning and welcome. Sally Worker, good morning. Christine Davis, good morning, welcome. Claire from Italy, hello. Yeah, go on, show off. 29 degrees in Italy. How lucky are you? It's freezing here in this church. From Zimbabwe, good morning, Kathy, and welcome to our church. Naomi, once again. Sandra Morris, good morning, I wish you well. Samantha Timpson, good morning. Priscilla Taylor, good morning. Cheryl Boxall, good morning, Cheryl. Looking forward to welcoming you back here to the church as we do extend the same love to everyone. Margaret Bartley, good morning. Lovely to see you. Phil, good morning. As I say, wish you well. Charlene, good morning. Bailey, good morning and welcome. You're watching from New Zealand, good morning. Fiona Kellett, good morning from Spain. Pamela Roger, good morning and welcome. Aaron and Ashley Bard, good morning, welcome to you both. Teresa Thatcher, I think we've met before, Teresa. Good morning, darling, hope you're well. Mitzi, good morning and welcome. I hope you have a lovely service this morning with us. One more, Donna Marie O'Connor, good morning. Newsom O'Connor's back home in County Offaly many years ago. Yes, Cheryl, we look forward to seeing you soon. We're hoping to open the Wednesdays here quite soon as well. Jackie's just working it out. Mary Ward, good morning and welcome. I think we'll leave it at that. I'll ask Matt to do the reading for us and afterwards he will do his address.
Oh, good morning, everybody. And the reading this morning comes from a book called Patient Strong's Thought for Every Day. And the reading is Time to Think. Give yourself a little time to let your thoughts take wing for a moment now, and then let go of everything. And think of things that lie outside your day-to-day affairs, beyond the little circle of your problems and your cares. Do not fill each passing minute of the busy day taken up with food and clothing, pleasure, work and play. Make a quiet pause before the shadows start to fall and think about the things that really matter, those most of all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Well, friends, we're going to ask Matt now for the address. I'm going to mute the mic here and I'll let Matt do his address. Thank you.
Thank you. So, good morning, friends. This morning, Spirit would like to draw you to a principle within United Spiritualists that is one of personal responsibility and one of being responsible for your actions and also for your own spiritual journey. But it's also for any faith. We all should take personal responsibility, and it's about having mutual respect for our own brotherhood of man. Now, with that respect, Spirit would like to say to you, think about your week, think about the last few days and the things that you've done for those around you as well as yourself. Now, the word respect can be split into two different categories, that of the self and that of the people whom you come into contact with on a daily basis. If you think about the people you come into contact on a daily basis, firstly think about your own family. Think about the respect of how you speak to one another, how you communicate, how you share that love and how you share that understanding. How you start to interact with one another. And we think about respect, it's not just about being polite to one another, but it's about stopping and thinking about how our words and actions will have an effect on that other person. Now, family and friends, sometimes we have falling outs, sometimes we have misunderstandings. And a medium recently was telling me how they had fallen out with their sister and how she was like, no, they've taken the step too far. I'm not going to speak to them ever and ever again. And this went on for quite a few months. And then she started to think, well, what have I missed out on? Well, in that time, there'd been a baby born. And then many things had happened. And she started to think, well, I'm missing out on the positive relationship I had with my sister, but I'm also missing out on the beautiful energies of a new baby. And that baby doesn't get to know me. Now, it's not about you giving in to other people. It's not about saying that you should give up on your own personal power, your own personal energy. But it's about saying sometimes some battles are not worth fighting. We then look within the family. Sometimes we get quite angry, maybe with our own children, maybe with our partners, and we always say the wrong thing. We might feel that we can't take back what's happened, but that's not the case, because we can always put it right. But we can also understand that it's a two-way process. That although we have got to put our actions and our behaviour right, they've also got to as well. What's quite common in any sort of spiritual way is that we've always got to do the right thing. We've got to remember that we're humans. We're spirit living a human existence. I also need to say to you that because we're living this human existence, we're going to make mistakes. And just because we claim to be spiritualist, can claim to be Buddhist, any other type of religion, it doesn't matter. We are going to make mistakes, but it's how we make those mistakes right that makes the difference. There's no point in holding a grudge. There's no point in sort of saying, this is how it was, they hurt me, and everything else. Yes, acknowledge that hurt. But sitting down and talking as two grown-up adults or child to adult and saying, you know what, we can sort this. It may take time, it may take effort. It's not on about protecting ourselves from somebody who hurts ourselves. It's about bridging the link between two human souls, two spiritual beings, and that bond of love that hurts when somebody hurts us. Using that to bridge the link between ourselves and putting things right. We then extend that respect to our friends. You know, there's many times I'm sure people will be able to say that there's been falling outs with people in the street, maybe friends within the playground of your children, or just long-term friends. And just one action suddenly breaks a long-term friendship. Now, if we think of healing, because there's some wonderful healers at Wimbledon, and the tear that happens within the human ether, and within our aura, that tear takes time to repair. And when we get hurt, that same tear remains there. But I want you to imagine that if we get together, we make things right, that our words of comfort, reassurance, forgiveness is almost like a stitch that's sewing that tear back together and putting it right. It's making it feel good, allowing us to move forward. Now, part of that personal responsibility, and I know with United Spiritualist, another part of that personal responsibility is towards our spiritual progression and how we move forward. And how can we move forward if we're not able to forgive? Because that forgiveness is not only to say it's okay, I forgive you, and to make things right, but it's also showing who's the better person. Now, if you feel this is a weakness, this statement, then that is your perception. Because to forgive someone takes a lot of strength. But the other person also needs to understand that they've hurt you. And you need to speak out and say it was wrong to do what you did. And explain your feelings. And then said, but I forgive you. There's a famous story many years ago. And it was in America. And in this story, there's a child and a baby. And there is a person driving a car. And in this car, there is a drunken person. And then there's a car crash that happens. And the person who is drunk gets out and falling all over the place. And in the other car, the child and the mother have died. A few weeks later, this man's in turmoil. He can't believe what he's done to this poor family. He's beating himself up and so apologetic. And the father came over to this gentleman. And this gentleman's saying, sorry, I can't believe what I did. And this gentleman just put his hand on his shoulder and said to this man, I forgive you. I just think how brave that man must have been, bearing in mind he's lost his wife and he's lost his daughter. Forgiveness isn't an easy thing, but it's one that is important. I was talking this morning with Reverend Jackie, and she was on about that, sometimes we need to come back again and again to learn our lessons. And sometimes there is many things that happen in this life, many things that happen that we can't correct in this life, so we need to keep coming back. But we don't want to keep coming back for the wrong reasons, because we haven't forgiven when we're meant to. But as I said, that's a two-way process. It's also down for the other person to forgive. And on a personal nature, it's also important for us to understand that we're only responsible for our own words, our actions, and our own behaviours. We're not responsible for other people. So if you're a person who keeps apologising for maybe your partner, your child, a friend, who keeps saying the wrong thing, keeps acting in the wrong way, don't put that blame upon yourself. That is their learning. That's part of their personal progression that they have to learn. What you need to learn is to be you and to respect you and see the beauty and the love and the beautiful shining energy that reflects within you. Because when you can see that beautiful energy that shines so brightly within yourself, and that everyone gets to see in awe, then you can say, and understand. I understand why people say what they say. I never saw that beauty before. Because it's very difficult to see the reflection of that light sometimes, especially when things are going on and things are difficult. But everyone else sees it. So shine your light, have respect for yourself, love yourself, and be the wonderful person that Spirit and all those around you see on a day-to-day basis. And with that, I'll leave that with you. God bless.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much. A wonderful address. And anyone in virtual world interested in joining United Spiritualists or United Spiritual Fellowship as its full name, so it encompasses both spiritual healing and mediumship and the ministry, spiritualist ministry, you can find it on a website, or please, you can contact me either if you want to know. But we are always looking for new members to join, and Matt and Kirsty are very active members within that field. Thank you very much. We're now going to come to the part of the service, friends, where Matt, our medium for this morning, is going to demonstrate the gifts of the Spirit. If Matt should come to you, please answer clearly yes or no with replying back. So if he says a man with a parrot and a wooden leg, you say yes, I know that, or no, I don't. And Matt, you've got lovely people saying some wonderful things about your address this morning and prayer. So thank you. Thank you. So there's a 15-20 delay, friends. And if anyone here at Wimbledon thinks the medium's with you, please put your hand up and I'll either answer for you, or you can come up here if you're brave enough and speak via the camera here, and I can unmute you. So hand you over to Matt Grogan, who will demonstrate the gifts of the Spirit, bringing the two worlds just a little bit closer. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Ray. Okay, good morning, everybody. For those joining us in the virtual and those within Wimbledon Church, good morning to you all. The way that I work, I normally know where I'm going to, but obviously we're working on two platforms today, so on some occasions I might need to put it out. The way that I work is a yes and no and don't know. Please do not make it fit. Please do not tell me anything. For those on the virtual, please do not put anything personal on the virtual chat because it can be read. And obviously, we don't want to be implied that you've told that information over the platform. So, as we get started, okay, I have a gentleman with me. I feel I'm a father, and I feel I'm going out to the congregation at Wimbledon. With this gentleman, I want to say I've got whitish hair back and sides. I'm balding on the top. I feel I'm about 5'7". I've gone with a heart condition. I would have been known for wearing a beige suit. I also want to say with this gentleman, I had a wonderful smile. I do feel very, very spiritual with this gentleman. And I also feel with this gentleman that I would have sat towards the back of the church on a regular basis. I do feel I would have gone about 83. And with the church, I'm being told I'm going towards the back of the church. And there's a lady who would understand this gentleman. Could you verify for me that, please, Ray? Sorry, I can't hear you.
So I've just unmuted. Anyone understand that? No.
Okay. So with this gentleman, I feel I enjoyed being out in the garden. I used to have a little dog. I also feel with this gentleman that I was kind-hearted. I used to talk to everybody walking down the street, and I would have been a person who was very approachable and wouldn't have had any sort of enemies, or I would have just been very much a respected gentleman.
Matt, it's Ray. There was a gentleman that used to come here whose description was like that, but he didn't have white hair. That's the only thing.
Okay.
And he would sit at the back of the church.
Okay. Would you understand him sort of being the height that I gave, roughly about 5'7"?
I'm just asking. About right, yeah.
Okay. And would you understand him being thin to the build, Ray?
Yes.
Okay, so I need to, if I can speak with yourself then, Ray, please, if no one else understands it within the church.
Don't think so.
Okay, so
I've got another lady here that knew the gentleman I'm talking about, so
okay, well,
she'll
he's
be able
going
to
on
answer
about
me as well.
lady. So if I can relay the information through yourself and just ask the lady just to nod, if that's okay. Okay,
Will do.
this lady's had quite a lot that's been happening in the last 6 months. This got nothing to do with COVID, but a lot going on an emotional level.
No, not really.
Okay, would you understand that around yourself then?
There's a lot going on in my life, yes.
Okay, would you also understand that there's, I'm being referred back to the address. There's a lot of challenges regarding respect.
Yes,
Okay.
in my private life, yes.
Okay, would you also understand that there's lots of healing going towards your head?
Yes.
And would you also understand that there is 2 further tests for Jackie on a health level?
Yeah, she's got 2 appointments next week and the week after,
Okay.
I think.
Excellent. So this gentleman's wanting to come in and sort of repay the kindness that was shown by Wimbledon Church. He's wanting to come in and make his presence known. He still comes and sits at the back of the church. He still was a person who would have walked in the local area. There is like a fenced-in garden, like a park area that's close.
He used to walk his dog in a park near where he lived.
He's still got that dog. It's only a small dog. It's not a big dog.
No, that's correct.
Okay, and I need to say to you, Ray, that you can, going back to the address, that he wants you to know that as a man of stature or a one of spiritual knowledge, he wants you to bear the words of the address, that you can only be responsible for your actions, behaviours, not the responsibility of the others. And he knows, saying that you would understand that. Excellent.
Yes, I do.
He's also saying, don't let your honesty be challenged. Always be the true man that you always should be.
Thank you.
Okay. And he's saying that he always tried to be the best that he could be, and he just wants you to be the best that you can be. He takes after you, and he says, thank you for working with him.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm now going to go into the virtual. Is it possible to put some names up for me, please, Mr. Producer? Okay, can I go to, I'm not sure if it's Mia or Maya Thomas, please. Okay, I'm going to say with my, I know you say about grandfather there, but I've got a grandmother here. And the grandmother, I want to say, would be about 5'4" in height, wants to be rounded to the body, is a really high cheekbones, wonderful smile about herself. She is a strong lady, but again, similar to the man that I've just had, wouldn't have been a person who would have been malicious in any way. I also want to say with this lady, I feel like I'm going on mum's side of the family. I feel that with this lady, I've gone with a heart condition. My passing was very quick, and I want to say unexpected. I do feel like I'm going in my early 80s, and I also feel with this lady that even though I'd gone at a good age, there was still a lot that I felt that I didn't achieve. Now, she takes me to yourself, Mia, and I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, because I know there's 2 different ways of saying it, but I'm going to say Mia. I just need to say to you is that things have been difficult for you for the last 8 to 9 months, and again, not anything to do with COVID. I need to also say with her that she is telling me that she's taken me to my stomach, and I've got lots of pains around my stomach. And I feel with this stomach, it's not a health condition. I feel that there is stuff that I've held on, and it's time to let go. Now, one of the things with the address, that respect is having the respect for yourself, and it's that being able to forgive the self and let go of the past. We can't change what's happened, and I'm not going to go into anything personal, but to sort of say we can't change the past, but we don't want the past to hold us back. I also need to say to you that I just feel that at the moment, little things are getting to me, and they don't normally. And these little things are just not allowing me to be the person that I truly am. And I want to say to you, same as the address, that you are a beautiful soul, but you need to believe that. This lady is pushing you forward so much. She's saying that you're digging your heels in, but what she's also saying is just put your feet down to allow yourself to walk again. Okay? And the final thing I want to give you from this lady is butterflies, because now it's time for you to fly free. If I can leave that with you, thank you for working with me. Okay. Okay, now I have a gentleman. I feel like I'm a father figure. I feel he's showing me that he's at least 5'11", 6 foot, very thin to the body. I want to say very intelligent. He was a clean shaven, well groomed. I want to say this gentleman gives me pains in my hands, particularly around my knuckles, so there would have been arthritic conditions towards the end. I feel like I've got respiratory conditions as he draws closer. I'm struggling for my breathing, and again I feel I'm going into the congregation, Ray. So I've got respiratory conditions. I am a gentleman of about 5'11", 6 foot, very slim to the body, clean shaven.
Anyone here understand that? Sharon, possibly.
Okay, so
a bit more info.
So with this gentleman, I feel very intelligent. I feel that I would have used my mind. I feel that towards the end, I would have had arthritis within my hands. I would have gone with respiratory conditions. I also feel with this gentleman that the person here wouldn't have been able to say goodbye to them.
Yes,
okay.
That's correct.
So if I can work with Sharon then, by yourself, if she can hear her voice, she's too far away.
She can hear you quite well.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Right. She would understand that lights keep going on and off in the house.
Yes. She can't think of that at the moment.
Okay. She would also understand that with her father, that there was a very close, special bond, particularly between those two. It was more drawn to the father than to the mother.
This is not her father. It's somebody she knew as a family friend, uncle.
Okay, but would he have then, okay, so my apologies, would he have been like a father figure then, because he's coming on a fatherly vibration?
Yes, can relate to that.
Okay. Right, now he's impressing upon me neck problems. Would Sharon understand that with herself?
Yes.
And lower back problems as well?
Yes.
Okay. Would she also understand that with herself that I've got problems with my teeth towards the back on the upper teeth?
Yeah, she's like me. She's falling apart.
Okay. She would understand that there are quite a lot spiritually going on within the house. And this is this gentleman, because there's that need for that support at the moment around her and that reassurance.
That's correct.
Okay, he comes around her and just gives her a hug and on a regular basis. She's not been sleeping properly. She's been waking up about 2:15, 3:30, and about 4:25.
Can't relate to that.
Okay. She would also understand not being able to think straight at the moment, to be able to focus on things.
No,
I'm very
she's fine with that.
confused. Okay, so I'm quite confused. So would she understand that with the gentleman? Because I'm feeling very confused at the moment. I'll be able to focus on one thing at a time.
Yes, that
Okay.
takes somebody else in the, she knows.
Okay, right. Now, I'm wanting to reduce all the cups of teas and the caffeine intake.
Okay, acknowledged.
And unusual for a man, and I'm sorry for all the men out there, but this person is very meticulous, is very sort of tidy.
Yes.
So I need to say to you, he's given the word change, and that changes are needed at the moment to allow, sorry, you said Sharon, didn't you? To allow Sharon to move forward, and now is the right time. It's almost like she's been hesitant to go forward, and I need to say it's now time to move forward within her life.
Sharon understands that.
And the final bit of the message for yourself, Sharon, is just to say to you, you're very much loved, very much remembered by those in spirit, but also understand that you're very much loved by those that are here as well. And it's okay to accept help when it's offered to you. If I can leave that with you, thank you for working with me.
She's very pleased with that message. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Can I go back to the online platform, please, Mr. Producer? Can I go to Shawna Doyle, please? Okay, Shauna, with yourself, I've got a lady who you resemble in the photograph. I do feel like with this lady, I'm probably about 5'4" in height. I'm feeling that sort of I've been ill for quite a while, but I've gone with heart conditions. I also feel with this lady that I was ready to go in the end because I couldn't carry on much longer. And that's not disrespect to the lady or to yourself. She's drawing me to yourself that there, I want to say the last 12 to 18 months have been quite difficult, and there has been a reluctance to want to go forward and a reluctance to do a lot. But I need to say to you, life is not about being stood still, and it's about no matter what's thrown at us, we still need to keep moving forward. Now, if you think of life as complete cyclical, and a circle has no sort of endings to it, it just keeps going and keeps going. And, you know, no matter what happens, life continues. And sometimes it's very difficult to have a purpose to keep going when there's so many challenges. Now, with this lady, I want to say was very matter of fact. She would have known things. She was very sort of psychic herself. But I also want to say with this lady, she always knew things. She just come out with them and say them. So whether she knew she was psychic or not, she just knew things. She would look out the window and know that you were walking up the road. I also want to say with this lady that she had such a big heart and such a wonderful way about herself. Now, I need to say to you that you are very much like this lady in your personality and in your ways. And I need to say to you that sometimes that respect needs to be turned back on itself a little bit and given to yourself. I need to say to you from this lady, this is about regaining your power and taking your power back. I also need to say from this lady that, you know, you speak the words of truth and you need to stand by your convictions. What's that say? I think it's my great nan. Okay. I also need to say with this lady, I would have gone roughly about 87. So if that sits with your great nan. I also need to say with this lady that she's making me go like this with lights, and I feel this must be with yourself, like an aversion to bright light. I also feel like I've got flutterings in my chest, so there's some sort of like stress, anxiety around yourself as well. And she wants to say to you, I love you, but she also wants you to look yourself in the mirror and to say that to yourself, because she wants you to acknowledge the person you are and see the beauty from within. The final thing I want to say to yourself, Shauna, is changes are afoot, and there must have been talk of a house move or a moving location, because she's trying to sort that out for you. And if I can leave that with you, thank you for working with me. Can I have one more on the online, please? Then I'll go back to the congregation. Can we go to Bernadette Connelly, please? Okay, Bernadette Connelly, can I work with yourself, please? Have a gentleman here. He probably 5'8", 5'9" in height. I've got jet black hair, similar to yourself, but he's got quite a dark beard with himself, quite a thick-set gentleman. With this gentleman, as he comes in close, I feel very, very tired. I feel very, very weary. I feel like I lost weight towards the end. And I also feel problems around my stomach now. As people know on the channel, that when I get stomach pains, I either get this as a stomach condition, but I also get this as cancer as well. I also feel with this gentleman that, you know, I've got my hands feel massive. And you know, and I feel that, you know, I was very much working with the earth. I would work very sort of very practically, but I had, you know, sometimes people say that to look at people, they look scarier than what they actually are. And you know, you'd look at this gentleman because he's quite thick set, and you think, oh, I won't mess with him, but he's like a cuddly teddy bear. He's got the biggest heart ever, and he was very much family orientated and very much a family man. I've got quite a lot of young children around me, and I felt at home when I came home. I felt very much at home and felt very much at peace, because I felt that I'd achieved a lot during the day, because I was happy whatever I was doing during the day. But when I came home, I was at my happiest as well. I also feel with this gentleman that I had a lot of words of wisdom to instill that I would impart to the family, but I wasn't a person who would tell you, this is what you should do. I want you to do this. He would say, right, this is what I would do, and he would leave it for you then to decide. Now, there has been lots of discussions about lots of changes that have been going on around yourself, Bernadette, and whether I should do this or not. Now, you are very intuitive, and I need to say to you, you need He's saying, trust your own gut feeling if it feels right. He asks you to remember when you were 13 and trust in this intuitive feeling that it's never let you down. I also need to give you a number of crystals that he's giving to you to add to your collection. He's giving you citrine, he's giving you selenite, he's giving you carnelian, and he's also giving you, what's that one? Celestite, which I think is the blue one, I think. So I need to say to you, if you can just look up, there'll be reasons why you've got those 4 or 5 stones that I've given you on there. I also need to say to you, you've just put on there that you're a medium, but I just need to say to you, healer, heal thyself. Is you can't keep giving out to everybody because eventually that water goes down. So, okay, so it's important that you replenish that and replenish. So sitting in the power, yes, but more you need to rest. And the final bit from this gentleman, he was what I call truly spiritual. I don't mean that he gave out messages and stuff like that. I don't get that impression from him. But when I mean someone spiritual, I mean the kind, the caring, the understanding, and the loving. And this man was that in the droves. You know, everything that he did, he put his passion and his love into his work. And he also put his passion and his love into his family also. So if I can leave his love with you and to say to you that he sends his love, he gives you so much understanding and appreciation, and that things are getting better. And I'm assuming this is your daughter next to you. Just say that she knows more than that she actually lets on, because she's very spiritually aware as well. So I'll leave that with you. Thank you for working with me. Okay. Are we still okay, Ray, for time?
Yes, we are. It's
Okay.
10 to 12. We finish about 10 past, quarter past.
Okay. So right. Okay, I feel I'm coming to the front of the church, okay, and I feel that with that I've got a lady with myself. I feel that I've gone in sort of my sort of between 75 and 78 in age. I want to say no taller than 5'2", cuddly to the body. With this lady, I feel very tired, but I'm going with a heart condition, and I feel I'm going on a motherly vibration with this lady.
I'm asking. Jim or Linda? Not sure.
Okay, so if I can continue with the evidence then. With this lady, I want to say would never stop, forever pouring teas, always had her door open and literally had the door open so people could walk in. She would be very embracing. With this lady also, she would be knocking on the neighbour's door if she'd not seen him in a few days.
Lady understands.
Okay, so if I continue with that, and if I can just work through yourself again, Rain, the lady.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just nods, please. Okay. Right, now the lady that's in the congregation would understand that there's been problems in the shoulder area and the middle of the back.
Yes, correct.
Okay, she would also understand that with her that she's just come out of roughly a six-month period of things being difficult, but she's come out the other side, and she's come out of it because of her own courage and her own strength.
Well, she's still going through it.
Okay.
But yes, but she knows she'll get out of it, but she's still in it.
Okay.
Well and truly.
Okay. Well, what they're saying is coming out of it, but because of their own strength, it's them that gets through it themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
I also
understood.
need to. I've also been drawn to the book here for that person to read. Is Andrew Jackson Davis and the importance there. and I need to say to this person, it must be very spiritual, and for them to read a book called The Magic Staff.
Yep.
Okay. I also need to say to this lady that she would also understand that this lady here was also spiritual herself.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, must be like a dentist today. They're taking me to the front tooth on the bottom. That I've got pains in that tooth.
She's just had root canal.
What? Sorry.
She's just had root canal.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to say to this lady that she needs to stop putting things off and to do things now and not say, I'll do it tomorrow. I also need to say to this lady that she needs to have a belief in herself, this lady's saying, because she's very much loved. She's very much loved by many, and there is appreciation from many for her that goes understated. And I also need to say to her that she would understand a gentleman in spirit who used to go like this on the top of her head, an elderly gentleman.
An elderly gentleman. Yes, she understands that.
So he wants to be acknowledged as well. And I also need to say to cut out the coffees.
Not sure on that one.
Okay.
Cut out coffee.
This is black coffee, no milk in it.
Yeah, she's acknowledging now very reluctantly.
Okay, and the final thing I need to say to the lady is just that this lady is very proud of her, and she needs to start patting herself on her back and saying to you know what, I've done a good job, because she underestimates all the things that she does for others. There's so much love going out to this lady from this lady, and thank you for working with me.
Okay, I can confirm she does a lot for others. Okay. And she says, thank you very much, Matt.
You're welcome. If I can go back to the virtual world, please, Mr. Producer. Can I go to Nessie Colburn, please? Now, just to acknowledge for the audience, I do know Nessie on a professional basis only. She runs a centre, but that's as much on there. So, Nessie, I need to say I've got Mum here, and I need to say to you that with Mum, towards the end, she had a lot of things that were happening on a health basis, and difficulty of trying to keep going. She was a very strong lady before health conditions took over. She wouldn't have let anything get her down, but the health-wise, unfortunately, things got too much. And there's only so much fighting you can do, she says. Now, she says that you've had your own battlings to do yourself, and she's been there, and she's been giving you lots of courage and lots of understanding. With this lady, I have stomach conditions, so I do feel that there's been cancerous conditions there, and she's also making me aware for the need to just take a breath and to basically acknowledge everything that's going on around you at the moment, and to understand that it's okay to take a step back from what is going on. She draws me to the beautiful stained glass window in Wimbledon Church and the light that shines through. And sometimes when things are difficult and when things are difficult to feel that we can continue, we need to look away from the dark and look towards the light. And she's trying to guide you with that light to guide you through to easier times. She says there needs to be a period of about 6 months for you to rest a little bit and just to take the foot off the pedal a little bit, because it's that you don't stop and that you're continually wanting to keep going. She also sends love out to your partner, and I also want to say to yourself, and I say this a few times, but with yourself, to drink more water. I'm also wanting to burn some incense in the house. Okay. Now, your little dog, and from what I remember, it was called Angel. So it's not the spirit telling me that, it's from what I remember. The little dog keeps looking towards the door, which is on the right-hand side of the room in your front room. And it's just acknowledging that that's Mum there. You also keep hearing rappings, sort of knockings in the kitchen, and you keep looking over your right shoulder because you keep feeling someone's there. All right, so that's hers, just so you know that. There has been problems with the toaster, and there's also been problems with the remote control. And the final thing I just need to say to you is that one of the things that gets us through other than love is strength of character, strength of belief, and strength of just knowing. And by having that strength of knowing that carries the pair of you, and I mean you and your partner through, is what will get you through anything. And she just ends that with the message of love conquers all. If I can leave that with you, thank you for working with Nessie. And if I can come back to the church congregation, please, Ray.
I'm here. I'm here.
Now, obviously, for those people at home, obviously, I'm working from home, not in the church congregation. I can't see the church congregation, so I'm being told I'm going towards the middle of the church, Ray.
Yeah.
I've got a gentleman here who comes on a fatherly vibration, clean shaven, roughly about 5'7" in height, and he looks like the gentleman that's in the church congregation. And he would have gone with a heart condition.
Nobody acknowledging that at the moment.
Okay.
Hang on. This young man at the back called Stephen.
Okay.
He's at the back of the church.
Okay. Shouldn't ask questions, but he would be of a darker coloured hair, yes?
Stephen's got dark hair, yeah.
Yes, okay. So
he's a heck.
That's where I'm going. So my apologies. He was.
That's okay.
Okay. Right. He would understand being at a crossroads at the moment in his life. I'm not sure of what direction to go.
He's thinking.
And this is career-wise.
He doesn't work, Matt. I can tell you that much.
Okay. So that's right. Okay. So what do you want to say with that? Because what I'm wanting to say is that studies are needing to be done that will lead to that job.
He can't. Can I just say, Matt, he can't work.
Oh, right, okay.
There's a reason.
Right. I'm confused then.
Am I right, Stephen? Yeah.
Okay.
He's looking at trying to expand out on his spiritual work.
Right, I don't want to make that fit. I do feel this is still career-wise, so if you can't take that, apologies, I'll have to take that back.
He hasn't worked, Matt, for a good number of years, and he can't.
Yeah, no,
work.
that's fine. That's fine. Okay.
He's a lazy bugger.
All right. Would you understand problems with the ankles and the feet?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Would you also understand lower back problems and sometimes needing to sit down on a regular basis?
Yeah, he does a lot of sitting down.
Okay. Would you also understand? I know you said about his spiritual development, but I'm going more on a healer level rather than medium.
He does a lot of absent healing, but he doesn't do any spiritual healing per se. He does a lot of absent healing.
Okay. So then, with some of the things that I've said, I want to go back to the career thing, and I'm not saying he has to accept it. I just want to pass this message on, and just say that there is career possibilities, all right, and that it will be linked to study as well. Now, whichever way he can take that, I'm going to okay, because they keep taking me back to that. I also want to say to this gentleman, things have been difficult throughout this gentleman's life, and I'm not going to go into it, but I'm just going to give you the following ages. I'm going to give you the ages of 15, 22, and 26 being difficult time in this gentleman's life.
He's thinking. I can answer that. He's had a difficult life.
Okay, so
I can't.
If he's
at times, he can't pinpoint the ages at the moment.
Okay, so I just need to say to you at every point, and the reason why they give me these as evidence for you, you may need to think about them, but the reason they give me those is just to show to you how emotionally strong you are, and to say to you that when you think, I can't do this, every time you bounce back, and it proves to yourself that you can do it.
Yeah.
Now, it's very easy.
Very true.
Okay.
I don't take prisoners.
Yeah. I also need to say to you that I'm hearing the Winston Churchill about courage in adversity. All right, and this is to say to yourself that whenever things are difficult, you've got the courage to carry on. And what's being said to you is that you need to keep your head up high and keep walking forward. There is the temptation to sort of stop and stand still. But I need to say to you, you can't stand still. You've got much to do, much work.
Yes,
right?
He understands that, Matt.
I also want to say your phenomena that's happening within your house is getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, he's smiling at that as well. He acknowledges that.
And I also want to say, I definitely want to say the healing, but I also want to say there is trance capabilities, is what I'm being told with this gentleman.
Okay.
And the final thing is the proof of the healer for yourself is that your hands get shaky and get very hot in the center of your hands on a regular basis.
He does understand that, Matt.
Okay, so the message for you is to go out and do your work, do the work of the divine, and go and give the love to those that need it, and understand that you will work and work with the right intentions and the right belief. But make sure that you do the job properly, give it the conviction it needs, the study and the understanding before that you can go and do the work that needs to be done fully.
He understands that, and he says thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for working with me.
Well, you can leave it at that now, Matt, unless you want to do one more.
I'll do one more, but I'll go to the virtual if that's okay.
That's fine, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Can I go back to the one that was on the screen, please, Mr. Producer? Amanda Townsend, was it? Okay, Amanda, I've got a gentleman with yourself. I feel like I'm going on father's side of the family. I would say this gentleman feels like a grandfather, would have had just a bit of facial hair just above the lip. I would say for most of the life he wouldn't have had that facial hair, but he would have towards the end. I feel a little bit cuddly to the body. And I just want to say, firstly, from myself, that's a beautiful picture of you both. But from this gentleman, he's sorry that he couldn't be there. He's shown me his ring. It's quite a chunky ring on his wedding finger. And I feel that that would have gone with the gentleman when he passed. I feel with this gentleman that I'm struggling with my breathing, so he would have gone with respiratory sort of lung conditions. And I also need to say with this gentleman that, again, I was very, very tired. I felt that I'd had a good life. I was happy to go. But I was just constantly sort of, everything was an uphill struggle. And he was, from the gentleman's point of view, he's saying that it was what would go wrong next. He has a lovely way about himself, and as he says that last comment, he's laughing with that. And I just feel that in his company, you could have talked for hours upon hours, because he just has that wonderful energy about himself. He's also taken me symbolically to the steps that you're on, and saying that, you know, it has been for the last 2 years a bit of a feeling of uphill struggle. But he's saying that things are starting to get easier. He also wants the gentleman in your life to know that he is appreciated and he is loved also. And I also need to say to him that he's got to stop beating himself up. He's got to start thinking of himself a lot more. So if he thinks of himself the way that you think of him, then anything is achievable. I also need to say to you, you're both a formidable force, where one's weak, the other one's strong, and so on. And together, that you can conquer anything. Okay, you put that as your son. Okay, so I still need to say you're a formidable force. I also need to say to you that there has been lots of doubts within you whether you can move forward, and because there's just been so much going on, and it's difficult to see the wood for the trees, but I just need to say to you, you are moving forward very, very slowly, but you are moving forward. You're no longer feeling that you're stuck in the mud. And I just need to end by saying to you, you keep smelling matches, like, as you know, when matches have been blown out, you can smell like the match smell, and I can smell candles being lit in the house and everything else. You've also got keep getting funny taste in the mouth and stuff, and sort of difficulty swallowing that is making you aware of. I just need to say to you, keep going. You can do this. And as you've put there, this is your comment. We are strong. No, you are strong. Is the comment I need to say to you. And I need to say to you, don't just trust and hope. Don't just believe and hope things will change. Believe that they are already changing, and have a trust in spirit, in the family, but more importantly in yourself. If I can leave that with you, thanks for working with me.
Thank you very much, Matt. It's been a wonderful morning with you, and here at Wimbledon Church we applaud you. Thank you. And I know the outside world is doing the same. And also, please extend our love and healing to Kirsty, and I hope she does get well soon.
Thank you.
Truly do. And I'll put her in our church healing book as well. So, friends, just a couple of notices. Tonight, there's no. Tonight is the VIP night on Spiritual Psychics TV. There's no Sunday sofa today, but on Monday evening, Matt and Kirsty, 8 o'clock, will be there, and there to help you, advise you, and guide you. Also, Wimbledon Spiritualist Church on a Wednesday will be having our Friendship Club, and on Thursday we'll be having our spiritual picnic. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And as of June, the time will start. We'll start a little bit later and finish a little bit earlier because Jackie and I have got childcare issues. We're not getting on school on time. So we were going to start that a little bit earlier. And that's about it at the moment. Next week's medium is Mr. Bill Hughes, and he indicates to me this morning he'll be here physically. Matt and Kirsty would have been there today, but there's reasons why. And also, if anyone does come next week and the weather's cold during the week, the church heating is off for summer. So please bring something extra warm to bring with you if you need it. So Jackie wants to say a few words.
Yes. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to mention that one of our Wimbledon family, our own daughter-in-law, Claire Robinson, is actually on this big walking campaign in aid of the Guide Dog Association, and her sister-in-law, Nikki, has a guide dog that helps her called Ibsen. So it's the Ibsen team are trying to do 250,000 steps a week to reach part of the goal of 1 million steps for the Guide Dog Association. So if anyone would like to donate to that, and they want to fill out the form here, or they want to do it online, or I'm sure that she'll probably have some sort of page online, but just to let you know. So she's committed to doing absolutely as many steps as she can. That's quite a goal of all those tens of thousands of steps that she's going to do. She's lost, yeah, she's doing very, very well with losing weight and going on these walks that she's doing. So we're very, very proud of her. So if you are able to support, and I have to say, it's lovely having you all here. Hopefully next month we won't have to have every door open. And we may even have summer by then, but just remember to have a blanket that you bring with you or something. And I think we may be able to then be into groups of 6. But Ashley's going to do another risk assessment for us in readiness for people wanting to come back. So if you are a person that comes to Wimbledon and you're hoping to come back soon, then let me know in advance so that I don't have too many people in the church. But I believe that we won't be limited to any maximum numbers now, providing we have so many feet apart from one another. And as I say, you will be able to be into groups of 6. So yes, and I'm hoping to then open the Friendship Club Wednesdays and be physically back here. So that's just a couple of announcements.
I hope in June we'll be able to do tea and coffee, don't we?
Exactly, yes. And you won't have to drink it outside. Yeah. so looking forward to that very much, especially as it's not really very, very warm. And it's nice seeing that June's there. And I hope June gets well soon as well. It'd be lovely to see you back again. Hopefully, June, we'll see you in the week for Wednesday and Thursday. So thank you. It's just my notices.
And Kim. Hello. Kim, good to see you. So I'll ask Matt now to close our meeting with prayer.
Okay, thank you. Dear Father God, Divine Spirit, thank you for once again allowing us to serve and allow to bridge the two worlds together to make them one. As we come to the end now of this service, can I ask for the two worlds to once again divide, for our loved ones to draw back, and for all those here, whether virtually or within the church congregation, to understand that our loved ones are only a breath away. They're there to give us joy, upliftment, and wisdom to get through the days and the weeks ahead. Can I also ask that the doors of this sanctuary remain open for many to come and for many to have that same connection. I ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much indeed, Matt. Thank you. And I do extend our love to Kirsty. I hope to see you both physically here soon one day. And God bless you all. And good luck for tomorrow night's show, Matt and Kirsty.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Jackie and myself, I wish you a good morning, a good Sunday afternoon, and see you all again throughout the week. Good morning and God bless you all. Bye.